please put your hands together for Arno Cost.
So first, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. You guys let your girlfriend home? Yeah? Okay, so today I'm gonna talk about my track 1000 Suns that I produced on FL Studio 11. This track is gonna be out on Protocol Records on March 14th, I think. And it's a quite progressive track with a nice vocal. I think it's a bit of Arno Cost touch on it, I hope. It's very melodic, you will hear for yourself. And first I want to talk about the structure. Maybe that could be good for you guys to hear the track in the first place, and then we can go over it, talk about the structure first, then talk about how made such elements like the synths, the kick, the bass, the FX, like everything. I want to go through the track like really deep, so you guys, after the conference, you go back home and learn something. So let's go, let's play the track. Hope you guys like it. I'm gonna skip the intro maybe.
Been left to walk this dusty road, no clear end inside. The desert heat, it burns our souls, leaving us to fall to the ground. I chase 1,000 suns and fade a million times, but when the fear subsides, we both come alive. Give me shelter in the dark, home is anywhere you are. With you here I am at peace. Spread your wings and cover me. Spread your wings and cover me. You are the place I call my home. I'm safe behind your doors. You stand.
So yeah, after you have the second break and second drop, obviously it's not perfectly mixed already and perfectly mastered. I'm used to do the mixing myself, but I also like to send stems to an engineer to make it like sound the best I can. I'm pretty happy of the dynamic of the track and also the vibe. So yeah, basically I made this track within like in 2 or 3 weeks. And when I started the track, I actually wanted to have something really melodic, but also very nostalgic. So I came up with these little notes here on this pattern with silent, of course. I like to start with, like just a pattern here. So basically I started with bass 1 here, and I came up with this melody. And then when you have that, I wanted to add some emotion in it, so adding some pads in the background. And to do that, I love to put some piano notes, like some layers here. So basically, you had that. So for this piano, I just used a simple Nexus. I think I compressed it a little bit. It's here. I put a sidechain, of course, Nicky Romero's sidechain protocol. And then I put it in a bus here, synth, where I put some multiband compression. But that's for the bus. So a lot of other elements are coming in that bus. So right now the piano is not compressed, but when you have all the other synths, it's compressed in the high frequencies, as you saw. So basically, I had this little piano, also the melody, the top melody, and also these chords made with Silent, also because I really love this plugin. It's amazing what you can do with just this plugin. I'm gonna solo it for you. So yeah, basically we had this piano, these chords, this top melody, and what's missing now, it's a bass, of course, because when you make a track without any bass frequencies in it, it doesn't sound good. So I went with this Anna plugin. It's really good, and also the bass here from Nexus, just a simple scene, I think. So obviously you have to sidechain again when the drop is coming. You have to sidechain it to make the kick sound even better. So when I had that, I decided to start building up the track. So I made this intro here with a good kick. Kick is important in dance music, very important. So I decided to not to sample a kick this time, but to make it myself, actually, with, again, this Nicky Romero's plugin. So I'm going to solo it for you. So the idea here is not to put too many low frequencies in it, because I really want the bass of the track to go more up front. If you put too many low frequencies in the kick and you have the bass at the same time, it's going to be a real mess. So the idea was like to make a very short kick with no low frequencies, sorry. So when you play the kick and the bass together, it should sound quite okay. So you can hear the sidechain also, and the kick is quite up front. As one more time, it's a dance track, so you have to hear the track, the kick in the track. So yeah, basically we have all these elements. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the mixing of the bass. I think I've put some Oxford EQ native. It's really good to cut the very low frequencies, so under 30 hertz. I've put the sidechain, obviously, and I cut also with the EQ of Fruity, which is, honestly, for me, it's okay, it's really good. So I cut the high frequencies, just to hear the sub. But on the bass, you want sometimes to have some layers, not only subs, but also some higher frequencies. So that's the reason why you have this plugin, Aina, which comes here. And when you put it, it sounds like this. So we have two basses. But they are not playing the same things exactly. They are not playing the same frequencies. So for example, this bass is playing more here, around here, like here, if you can see that. Sometimes I like to put also some fab filter, so you can see what exactly frequencies the bass is playing. So you see it's playing here. The other sub was more playing around here, like 40, 50. This sub is playing around 200 until 1000 hertz. Okay, so we have the subs, we have the bass, we have the pads in the background, we have the top melody, we have also some extra elements that you cannot really hear at the first place, but if you remove them, the track will sound less good actually. It will sound maybe a bit empty. So what I like sometimes is to put on the right or on the left some extra synths that like layers that are playing the same melody, but very softly. So you can you have the feeling of an atmosphere around you, like stereo-wise. But it has to be very soft. Otherwise, your mix is gonna sound really bad. So everything in the mixing part, in the process of creating, of making a track, has to be done softly. You have to be careful with every element you have, and I think that's the key actually. If you work every element properly, separately, and softly, I think that's the key, and you will be able to make a good track. So basically, I add this plug. I like to use Nexus actually a lot for synths and silent also. So this, I'm not sure if you see it properly, but I put it on the left, and I also added some bells here, just very softly once. It's just a simple arpeggiator of bells. And I'm not sure that if I play you the whole track now, you will be able to hear them. But if you remove them, if you remove this plus this plus this plus this at the end, it's not going to sound good enough. So I think the secret also is to sometimes add some extra elements that you find interesting, softly one more time. But that's going to make the difference between a good and an excellent track. I'm not saying my track is excellent right now, but I'm just saying that I did my best to improve like a cool track to a nice track, which is going to be signed on protocol. So basically, we had this. So all the elements here, and when I found my bass, which is here, I was like, this is good, but maybe something is still missing again. Obviously, I haven't done the mix yet. I haven't done the beats. I haven't done the drops. Nothing is there yet. But there's no emotion enough for me. We could have some more shiny frequencies. And instead of going in the plugin, trying to add like extra elements here, like high frequencies, I thought that maybe it would be more interesting to add like a white noise on top of the melody. Which would be here the whole time and would add the extra shiny frequencies we need for a club track like this. Basically, we had this. It sounds good, but for me something was missing. So I'd add this white noise, which is here. So basically, yes, I did the same as the other elements. I have put some sidechain on it, and with the kick, it was sounded quite good actually. All right, so what else do we have? So we have also this medium rave, another layer that I added, some pads in the background also, which are important to me, something like this, which alone sounds quite cheesy, but when you put it on the drop, there is this note just there, and it sounds good. So don't ask me why. I always put some pads like this, very softly again, to give like a feeling of epicness, and it actually works. So the same for this rave again. So if you go back and put the... Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about these ones, which are quite important actually. These frequencies, these pads, I'm not playing, are the frequencies very useful also in the high medium frequencies. They are like... They are not bass, they are not high synths, but they are in the middle, and very important also. They are around here, I think, like around 1K, or maybe less, yes. So if you remove those frequencies, also it's gonna feel empty. And to do those kinds of synths, you just take one form like as a scene, one form as a square. You tweak them a little bit, and you have like here. And of course, you remove the bass frequencies because you don't want to have the same frequencies as the bass low frequencies again. So one more time, it's all about mixing and choosing what element is going to be there, what other element is going to be there. Because if you choose two elements at the same frequencies, we are going to play kind of the same thing. It's going to be a real mess for you to mix the track. And of course, we all learned that less is more, so you have to be careful. Okay, so now we are done with the synth part, which for me was very important, especially in this track because it's quite a melodic, progressive track. But now we're going to focus on the beats because first, when I made the track, it was sounding good, but something was also missing. And I didn't want to add any extra synths because otherwise it would sound very heavy in the project. So I was like, I need to find a way to make it sound even better, not adding too much sidechain to the synths because otherwise it's going to sound like also cheesy. And I want the track to breathe a little bit and not only hearing a. So I wanted to add maybe something on the kick, which would be kind of a clap, and it would bring a groove, and it would help me to make a drop that sounds really, really good in a club or at home when you listen to the track, actually. So what I did, it's here. I called it the clap drop. It's here. It's just a simple clap that you put on every kick, actually, and that will bring you some dirty frequencies, not white noise, not dirty frequencies from a synth, but dirty frequencies from something else, something new, something different. And actually, when I remove the clap from the drop, it doesn't sound good at all. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Of course, you have to put or a sidechain, or you have to do it like this, remove the attack from the clap, because otherwise you're going to hear the attack of the clap on every kick, and it's not going to be good. The dynamic of the track is going to be removed. So you have to be careful with that. So basically, I put a sidechain again from Nicky Romero. And I was quite happy of the result. I'm going to try to put it with a kick. Okay, so you have this. Then I was like, okay, this is good, but maybe it's not enough. Why not trying to add some extra elements, something that you wouldn't have thought about in the first place, but that could be interesting to hear? For example, these samples. Doesn't sound really good when you hear that like this, but when you hear it in the whole track, actually, it's quite interesting. And you have like some stereo, you see? This one is on the left, this one is on the right. And if you put all of them, like the clap, this, and also, I think I've added this one. You're like, it's not a real clap like you're used to hear in some housey tracks. It's just something that it's going to give you dynamic on the drop. I don't say that you have to do this all the time. It just depends on the kind of track you're making. But for this one, I have like like real cut notes, actually. And if you don't want to hear like the kick all the time, you have to add these claps, actually, to make it like more flat. I don't know how to explain. I think you got my point. It's just a matter of how the track is going to sound at the end. If you think it's better to add these elements, then do it. Try stuff, try things, see how it goes. If it's not good, then try again. It's a matter of patience and also trying something like different things. So, so we have now the clap, we have the kick, we have the white noise, we have the synths, we have the bass. So basically, we have the whole thing. Cover me. yeah, obviously also on the first part of the drop, I've added some extra elements that are gonna give even more groove to the track, like for example, this loop of like some hi-hats. All right. I also added a clap. So I was talking about the clap that I used here to make the track even more groovy on the second part of the drop here. That's like a random clap. It's done with a few samples, like for example this one here. All right. So I like to do some layers on the claps and also try to sidechain them a little bit. So when the clap hits, you can still hear the kick going. Otherwise, it's gonna make your track lose some dynamic when the clap is gonna hit. So I like to add some sidechain on the clap also, just a little bit. We have this little. Actually, I want to go through this little part here, just before the second part of the drop here. Here. So right now, dance music uses a lot of this kind of effects. Actually, it gives an extra touch on the track. So to do this, you need a few things. You need some good effects. So basically here, some fills. It's a fill from a bank. I don't remember where exactly. I think it's Vengeance. It helps to give more like power and dynamic to the track. For example, you can hear it more in the intro. That's the drum part. And for this kind of moment here, it is very important to use this kind of like real drum effects. It gives something extra, something cool to your track. And also when the drop comes again in the second part, it's like, wow, this is really cool. You also have an effect like something weird, something like that. And it's actually just a sample from Vengeance again, which I unpitched, I think. Okay, let me play it solo. Simple. And then you have the white noise again of the drop. You have all the elements that come back. So basically, when I've put this Vengeance noise, I've muted all the other elements here. You see, there's nothing playing here, and nothing playing here, except this, like a little arpeggiator. I'm gonna play it for you. There. It's very light, it's just a detail, but it gives, again, something extra to your track. So, okay, what else we have in the drop? Maybe I could talk about, not in the drop, but before the drop, actually. It's very important. A lot of producers know how to make a real cool drop, but they don't really know how to build around it. Because making a drop sound good, it's something, but making a story about the drop, making breaks, bridge, break again, or I don't know, a cool intro, it's very complicated, and actually that takes me a lot of time. Because sometimes like, this is maybe too long, this is maybe too short, is it gonna be cool? Is it gonna be powerful enough? So I'm talking about my tracks now, and I think it's quite cool to use filters. I'm from the French touch, basically, so I use a lot of filters. For example, I used the filters on my, you remember my pads and my piano here, so I used a lot of filters here. I'm gonna mute the vocal, all right. And I don't know why, but when you add a filter to the synths, it gives something warm, like, I don't know, it's very soft. It's like a deadmau5 track, it's, I don't know, and for a vocal, it's just perfect. You put the pads, you put a very light bass, and then you have the vocal, it's perfect.
Been left to walk this dusty road.
All right, so basically you filter at the beginning, and then you unfilter them. The more you go up front, and the more you come to the drop. So you can see the automation of the filter here. It's quite gross, but it works. And then you have the other vocal here. So we unfilter and then we filter again to bring the chorus. So we have the chorus here.
Give me shelter in the dark. Home is anywhere you are.
You add some little claps, which are there, somewhere here. Maybe the rides also, that can help you in a break to give more energy. All right. About the rides, actually, it's sometimes good to add some stereo on them. So this time I've put some stereo enhancer. But when you put it mono, it doesn't disappear, so it's good. But yeah, like I said, just be careful with the stereo enhancer. It's very tricky. What else did I add here? Some claps. The ugly claps, actually. And also here, some Vengeance FX that I cut. So here. And also I think that's this part is there the whole time, actually. It's a loop of a vocal. It's also there in the drop, actually. Okay, so also when you go out from a drop, it's also nice to have this effect. So I think you heard about LFO, right? Yes. I used LFO actually for this effect to give like this. Pitch LFO, actually, it's called, on this synth main lead again. So I'm going to play it solos, then you can hear it properly. So it's a cool FX. It's I think it gives one more time something extra to your track. So basically, to do this effect, I took the LFO from the silent. I did the automation. So you have it here.
How did you start this track? Like, did you start with the chords, or did you have the melody, and like, how did you kind of go about arranging it?
I think on this track, I think I like to start with chords. Actually, I play them on the piano. Like, I think I came up with this pattern, actually, just. And obviously there was a bass line in the background. And from there, you have so many possibilities. You can do like, I don't know, some Alesso leads tracks or like more progressive stuff. You can also go with strings, whatever you want. It's quite easy. So basically, yeah, then I put another like synth for, like, for example, this one, and I started with the piano, and I was like, wow, this is quite strong. I could make a track around it. Then I started to build the track, and I asked my dear manager to give me some cool top lines. Then we went back and forth with the singers, and then yeah, the track was born. It happened like that, actually.
So first the chords, and then you got a singer later.
Yeah. Well, it's not always the case, actually. Sometimes you receive a vocal and you work around it. But this time I did the whole instrumental. And then we had the vocal. Well, actually, I think I started with some other vocal, which was really completely different. And at the end, we came up with something really, really big, and we wanted to have a really big vocal also, not just a random one. Yeah. But my advice for if you want to make progressive house music, start with piano, like a melody.
Right.
I never start with a beat. I always start with piano, trying to make notes. And when I find something interesting, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this and try to find top melody on it. You don't have to find top melody. Some people do like audience style drops, which has the chords, you know. But for this one, I wanted something really dreamy and something more like my old style also. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Arno. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Left to walk this dusty road, no clear end inside. The desert heat, it burns our souls, leaving us to fall